Hey everybody, how's it going? This is going to be a ramble video, kind of a ramble update video. I'm still working on Belial. I actually made no progress on Belial this past week. I made some progress on the Dreadnought that I showed you, the one that I pinned, the forge-rolled one, and I finished the Dreadnought Base, which is what you're looking at the top of this tackle box. So this is going to be a video about the base and about this tackle box. So let's get right to it. What we have here is the tackle box, the Dreadnought Base. Let me do it with this hand. The Dreadnought's going to sit on it, so he's going to have his left foot somewhere on here and his right foot somewhere on top of the Rhino door. It's made to look like a Chaos Waste / Urban type of battle zone. What I did was I put the Rhino door and the sprues down first, glued them down, then I flocked the entire base. Then I glued down these rocks you can get from Gale Force 9 or they call them rocks. I'm sure they're probably little gravel type of things. And around this corner of the Rhino door, so it's like the Rhino door flew through the air, maybe slammed into the ground here, so it did dig up some stuff and fell down, like from an exploding Rhino that was on fire. And yeah, this pretty much made it look like a dirty battlefield, a battlefield in action type of thing. It's Codex Gray, Fortress Gray for the flocking and the rocks. The rocks then also got a light dry brush highlighting of Astronomicon Gray. The sprues are painted to look like rusted metal, so tin bits followed by Vulcan Mill dry brushing and over it, and then a wash of Devlin mud. And the Rhino door is a lich purple followed by like tentacle pink on it, not heavy tentacle pink, so it's not fully perfectly tentacle pink. But it's enough to get the illusion done. It's from a Chaos Rhino. This is this is not the same army as the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought's an Imperial Dreadnought, so this is a enemy Rhino dedicated to a Chaos God. I'm pretty sure you can tell which one by the color. Stereotypically, and then I drilled into it and overall damaged the Rhino door up a little bit. Did the appropriate bulk of metal to show where it's been chipped and damaged, and then I washed it over the bulk gun parts and over certain parts to make it with Badab Black to make it pop, as well as gave it a general streaking wash with the Badab Black on purpose. I did that to simulate fire. When fire burns something, be it a house, or if you see fire looking at metal before, because it can't burn it if it's not hot enough, you can test with a candle with a knife. I wouldn't advise doing that, just because, especially if you're living with, young and living with your parents. If you're in high school, why not? I don't advise setting things on fire to check this out and studying it, but fire is very cool to watch and study in general. Anyway, when fire licks at something that is about to burn but doesn't burn it yet, it leaves a black mark on it. Sometimes just like a candle's little smoke thing, when it starts looking at something, will leave it as well. And it's kind of like a sooty type of thing. You can, most of the time, you can rub it off or wash it off easily. But that's the effect I was trying to get, like the Rhino is on fire or something and is looking at the door and then it exploded and the door flew off. So that's why it looks like streaked. I think I got the effect pretty well. I mean, if you didn't know that's what I was going for, it just looks like a mess. But that's what I was going for. So that's the Dreadnought's base. I like the way it came out, and once the Dreadnought's on top of it, I think it'll look really cool. So that's the base. Now onto this tackle box. I've been organizing my workspace a bit and paints, and this tackle box I had sitting around, an extra tackle box, but not much in it, so I transferred what was in it to another tackle box, and I took it for hobbying. I like this one because it's got these things on top, which look like this one, open, which you can fit bits in, or like 25mm bases I think can fit in here. Square bases can definitely fit in here for any fantasy people. Or if you want to use them for objective markers, I use square bases to make objective markers, because I have a bunch of them. Or bits, basing material, etc., etc. You can fit stuff in here. So you can transport like a tactical squad. You can have broken down bit form, and then if you want to take it somewhere to paint, you can do that pretty effectively. But the main part of this is to store my paints, because my paints are on my workspace and they took up a lot of space. So now we have it here and below it. And pretty much what I did is I painted the tops of all the paints, all the non-foundation and non-wash paints, to denote what color it is or what color family it is. Like some of the reds and some of the greens, if you look at it quickly, look the same on the tops, but it's a lot easier to look, okay, I want, let's say, Dark Angels green. I'll look for the green top and hopefully find the Dark Angels green if I'm lucky, and if not, on the first try, then I know what I'm looking for, and it should be this one. Yeah, it's this one. But you get the idea. It makes finding paints a lot faster when it's sitting everywhere and bunched together. A lot of people do this. I've just been lazy, but I finally did it. And it's not all the paint I own. This is I have a lot more paint that I just don't use because they're doubles of stuff, or because of the fact that I bought the mega paint set 2 years ago when I had all the washes and all the paint colors and everything. And I don't use all the colors, obviously, but I have them there in case I need them to do cabling or do accent colors or basing colors, and for bases or for terrain or whatnot. And so yeah, those are still sitting in the case that the paints came with, but the paints I use on a regular basis are all here. And I use a lot of paints for no apparent reason. Anyway, so that's what I did. I did not color the foundation paint tops because they're different enough to discern from regular paints, so I'll just pick it up and look at it and just like, oh, found the color or whatever. And the washes are also unique, so there's one up here, they're on the bottom, and I can just look through that myself and just deal with it. Pretty obviously I'm not going to just pick them up one at a time. If I'm going to paint something, if I know the color I'm going to use initially, like painting Deathwing, I'll take the colors that I need, like the base color, the base coat, the highlight color, the eyes, and the Vulcan metal, and then I'll put those back, or take out what I need and then put everything back. And it helps condense the space and not have more space to put models that are done on there just to look cool or to hold hobby supplies or tools and whatnot to be at a greater reach, or like easier reach, I should say. So yeah, I'm obviously not the first to do this. There's plenty of people done this before me. I just want to show you how I did mine, my little paint set. And what's cool about this is you don't have to store all your paints this way. You can just store the paints you're going to use the most, or if you're painting a particular army, you can put the paints in here. And that way, if you decide to do an impromptu paint fest or paint at the hobby store, and you got the, if you're going to go to the paint fest, like if you're not hosting it, then you can throw your models into like a tackle box on the bottom and the top, or whatever. Throw your paint brushes, your basing material if you need to bring any of that, your bases and paints, and you have a self-contained painting station. One thing I will suggest if you're going to go out and buy a tackle box for this purpose is don't go crazy with the price. Cheaper the better. They come in a variety of styles with pull-out drawers to stuff like this that comes up in a step form, so it gives you layers. Whatever one you end up trying to go with, should you want to, or if you have a couple around the house that are just sitting around collecting dust, take a paint pot with you, or know how high a paint pot is, and make sure that you can store your paint pots in the tackle box with it closed without any problems, because some of them are too shallow, the layers, the levels, so they won't be able to actually hold the paint pot and then collapse back on itself. So yeah, you don't want to find that out after you bought it. So just figure out should you do that. Just find out if you can do it, and if it's not, you can have a painting station where it has your paints you can use out and leave those paints there, and you can also use it to store all your bulk paints that you're not going to use all the time. Either way works. You can use it to do both. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The Dreadnought Base and the painting tackle box / bits holder. Should I do that? Hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully the next video will be something more cooler, maybe a finished model or something else. So until next time, take it easy.